I know Jason Nash has been a big topic recently. Everyone has been roasting him for being on TikTok Live, and he's gotten a lot of backlash from it, not just from the public, but from other influencers and his own friends. But there's something else that's been brought up about him, and it all happened on the recent Call Her Daddy episode. Trisha Paytas was the guest on last week, and she opened up about her life, including past relationships, and people were able to connect the dots that one of the relationships she was referencing in the interview was her relationship with Jason Nash. She brought up an ex who would count the chicken nuggets that she would eat and how it low-key traumatized her that this happened when they were together.
You had a man that would count how many chicken nuggets you would eat? What the
on camera.
No.
Yeah. It's like still out there. It's like compilations of all the time. Yeah. It's like that to me is the most traumatic thing of my life. I've been kidnapped probably over 40 times, but that was the most traumatizing. Thinking about it, I like disassociate right now. I'm like, oh no. I like get scared. I don't know. It's like such a weird thing.
You're like, leave me the alone. Let me eat my nuggets in peace, you piece of shit.
It's like it's like traumatizing. When I think back, I'm like, oh my God.
People did some digging and found that this was her talking about Jason because they do have a vlog together where they go to eat, and Jason did in fact count how many chicken nuggets that she had eaten and was certainly making her feel bad for wanting some more.
Let's see what you did. Okay, you had 8 of these, only 2 left. And now, mind you, I had none. So she did all this. And she had 7 of these. You had 15.
That's 75% of the nuggets I ate.
I mean, that's...
Babe, I might need to do one more.
No, you're good. I don't think you need to do it. And think about Jonah.
One more nugget.
So lovely, so
one more nugget, babe. Nug me.
I think we should stop.
I'm a supportive boyfriend. I'll feed myself.
No, it's the opposite. I am the supportive boyfriend.
What, you won't love me if I get fat?
Of course I'll love you if you get fat. Don't let me have stuff.
I genuinely believe that this was something that has stuck with Trisha because there's been several times now where she's filming a mukbang with Moses and leans over and tells him that she's so thankful that he's down to eat with her in videos and doesn't judge her or anything, and cooks her dinner and gets her the food that she loves and craves without any judgment. And she even made a video a few weeks ago on TikTok that just praised him for being such a supportive partner to her, and everyone in her comments was just so truly happy for her that she had found someone who isn't trying to change her or make her feel guilty for things.
And I just have the most amazing husband in the whole world. We are so perfect together where it's never a fight, never anxiety. Like, I never worry, am I being too lazy? Am I not being good enough parent, a good enough wife? Like, he just is so reassuring, and I feel like I'm happier because of it. Our daughter is so happy. My husband and my daughter are downstairs cooking dinner, and I'm just like, I don't know, and I don't feel guilty, and he doesn't make me feel guilty. I feel like I just need to rest, and I don't feel guilty for resting. I don't feel guilty for eating, and it just, like, life feels good, and I just feel so content.
It's crazy to see just how much has truly changed for Trisha. Just a couple of years ago, things were so different in her life, and the internet also had a different view of her as well. But currently, they are loving her and her podcast. And she had also recently talked about how grateful she was for that, and that this new generation has been hyping her up and giving her so much love on TikTok especially. But something else Trisha's talked about, and this is circling back to the Jason Nash story, is that Trisha and her Just Trish co-host Oscar were talking about Gabby Hanna on their podcast, and how Gabby has just resurfaced online after people saw a video of her promoting these workout classes that she started teaching at her local gym where she's recently moved. And they were praising her for getting offline and getting a job and seemingly being in a much better place than she was when she was online a few years ago. And they started talking about how they really respect that she got this job, whereas other people have resorted to panhandling on the internet, and we all know who has been doing that.
Honestly, let's applaud anyone who leaves social media and works an actual job, I think, because these days it's kind of rare.
If you can work, like, that is the case. Like, I actually respect people more when they can go and, like, get a job and, like, work and contribute to society.
Yeah.
It's
like,
a whole thing.
I saw even, like, do you remember Alex Ernst? Is that his last name?
Oh,
he was in the vlog
yeah.
spot. Even he is, like, working a normal job, and he's
Yeah.
like, anyone who was like
Panhandling.
he was like,
yeah.
just get a job. Like,
Yeah, it's, again, I respect anyone's hustle, especially online. Like, do what you have to do, you know what I mean? But it's like, as long as there's, like, a hustle and you're providing something, you know what I mean? Like, I just think that is, I mean, and it's a lot of people. There's a lot of people on live that are doing this right now, and it's just like, because the thing is, TikTok Live is, like, so many kids, so, you know, or just, like, young people, like, whatever, and it's just like, I don't know, just ask. I don't know. There's something like weird. There's just so many things you can do as an influencer to provide like a service or something,
Some entertainment, yeah.
Some sort of entertainment. I mean, there's been highs and lows, and I've always just found a way to like make money. And some people don't think it's like respectable, some of the stuff I've done, but it's like, hey, like at least I'm providing a product or a service.
So it's pretty clear they're talking about Jason Nash here when they're referring to people panhandling on TikTok Live for money. And as much backlash as he's gotten recently, I will say that Jeff Wittick actually did kind of defend Jason a bit against Tana the other day, because she asked Jeff if he had been seeing what Jason was doing on TikTok, saying that she feels like he should be doing something like OnlyFans or DoorDash. And Jeff defended Jason a bit and also tried to say that he has talents like writing and should lean into doing something surrounding that.
Have you seen Jason Nash on TikTok Live every day begging for money?
Yeah. I see clips of it. I see like YouTube videos where people.
I would rather him have an fans. Like every day I get on my TikTok and every hour on the hour, Jason Nash is
he's
live.
Got kids.
He doesn't see them. He's live thanking people for roses 18 hours a day.
That part's bad, but also if he had fans, that'd be even worse for his kids, you know?
Look at Adam 22 and Lena.
They have kids?
They have a kid.
But not in high school. Like, imagine you're in high school and like your dad's showing his on the internet.
It's like the South Park episode.
Yeah, you can. Oh, it's exactly that. Yeah.
I haven't seen that still.
That kid loses every argument automatically. Like your dad showing his online. You know.
Well, wouldn't there already be conversations like that in school? Being like, yo, your dad's on TikTok Live right now?
100%.
It's probably a thing, but it is probably much worse if he had
like his butthole.
I just feel like he needs to be like a DoorDash driver then. Like it's just getting out of hand.
Or a writer or something. He's got talents that he doesn't need to be like so given so much of himself on the internet.
Now, I will say that it does seem like Jason is doing other work on the side aside from just TikTok Live. And like Jeff brought up, his writing, he could write. And it does seem like that is what he has been doing, because he did mention in his recent video addressing everything that everyone has been saying about him being on TikTok Live, that he is in the middle of trying to get this show made. He's written a show and he's trying to get it produced. He's having a bunch of meetings for it. But obviously with projects like that, you're not going to see any profit unless something actually happens. And so TikTok Live is the thing that is funding him for now. Obviously, there's a lot of opinions surrounding that. But in terms of what Jeff was saying, it does seem like he is doing the things that Jeff says he has the skills to do.
I'm trying to make this TV show, and I had a good meeting the other day, and it's like, I do TikTok Live, and then that will help the podcast. The podcast is only in its second year. Yeah. So I'm hoping maybe by the third year it becomes like profitable. Maybe this year it'll become profitable. And so like TikTok Live is affording this.
Like I had mentioned in the video I recently made, Jason is getting on live, he's asking for money, and he's getting it all from the comfort of his own home. So I'm sure he would much rather do that than have to leave his house and do some sort of task. And people are right to judge and express how they feel about the fact that he is doing this and that this is something that he can do. But for the people that are like, I don't understand why he's doing this, or I don't understand how he can, bear to ask these things of people on the internet, it's certainly because he doesn't want to go outside and like really work for it doing something else while he's trying to fund his dream and his kids and his family. He would rather just sit at home and ask people and receive. Like, I don't know. It's one of those things that every person is so different. There's people in the vlog squad that said they wouldn't do it and you couldn't pay them to do something like that, ask people for money like that. But some people are down to do that. And I'll say that it just certainly doesn't help that at one point the vlog squad flaunted how much money they were making and spending and they had, and now we're seeing Jason talk about how much money he doesn't have, and it's kind of biting him in a way because people are like, you should have been more cautious with your spendings and all of this stuff. That's something even Ethan Klein was talking about the other day, that this should not be the case for them where they have to resort to begging on TikTok for money because they at one point were making a lot and he doesn't understand what happened to it all. But there are people that are giving Jason money, and it's why he'd rather just receive that than, go out and do something else because it is easy money for him. Now, who knows how long he'll continue to do it. Maybe the show that he's trying to get picked up will turn into something and he won't need TikTok Live anymore. But it seems like until then, this is what he is going to be doing, despite what everyone else has to say. But I want to know what you guys think about what Trisha had to say recently, plus just how much her life has changed and how different things are. And I also want to know how you guys feel about Jeff defending Jason in a way. Let me know your thoughts. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.